Everybody has one podcast. We are back.
Yes, yes.
Another week. So much going on in the world of sports. So little time to discuss it all. I'm your host, Jason Flake. My co-host, Lance Reynolds, a.k.a. the People's Champ.
What up, though?
We like to start the show the same way each week, man. Thanking the Everybody Has One family for a great week of engagement. We got lots of views on the YouTube channel. Great engagement all over the social sites. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's Threads, that's Twitch, and that's TikTok. Make sure you continue to like, share, and subscribe on that YouTube channel. When you subscribe to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that bell notification. When you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all. When you hit all, you will be notified every single time that we post new content, new videos, new shorts. And, of course, every time we go live, which is every Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it. We hella late this week, but this was as close as we could get to 8:30, man. So we thank y'all for tapping in with us, being in with us, man. We know the NBA Finals, Game 4 is on, big-time, pivotal Game 4. So without further ado, man, let's get into the topics.
Let's get to it.
We will be first discussing the NBA Finals, man. Big-time matchup going on this past Monday night. After falling down 2-0, San Antonio Spurs bounced back with a 115-111 victory over the New York Knicks. Victor Wembanyama had 32 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 blocks. But most importantly, he was 11-18 from the field, 2 of 4 from three-point range. So he was efficient, not to mention 8 of 9 from the free throw line. OG Anunoby had 28 points on 9 of 13 shooting, while Brunson scored 32 points on 11 of 25. But Karl Anthony Towns scored just 11 points, and Mikal Bridges had only 2 points. Game 4 is taking place as we speak, so let me ask the People's Champ. Did the Spurs just prolong what will be a long series, or did they simply prolong the inevitable after dropping the first 2 at home? As we know, no team has ever dropped the first 2 home games in a NBA Finals series and come back to win that series. So what say you?
Yeah, I think they made the first steps of making it a long series.
Okay.
I think we both predicted that the series would be long. So,
yeah.
I think at least from my end, any talk of a sweep was all hyperbolic.
Yeah.
I think that the biggest factor that I've seen is really the youth of the Spurs finally kind of showing itself in the fourth quarter of the first 2 games.
Yeah. Yep. It definitely did.
Because I feel that if you ask the Spurs, they probably feel like they should be up either 2-1 or 3-0.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to look at Game 1 and how they were pretty much in control of that game for the first, 41 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, they've had the lead in the final 2 minutes, I believe, of every game.
Yeah, and I think coming into tonight, it was like 7 points, like separated both teams.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think it'll be a long series. I think now this is kind of where you get to the point where both teams know who the opponent is and what they like to do.
Yep.
So I think it'll come down to, what's in the chest of the players, and also now the guys on the sidelines got to earn their money.
Yep.
I think it's going to come down to that.
Yeah, most definitely. As I mentioned, no team has dropped the first 2 at home in the NBA Finals series and come back to win that series, even though I did pick the Spurs in six. I think it might be unlikely for the second youngest team in NBA Finals history to complete that feat, though I, like you, I think it is going to be a long series. Both of us picked a 6-game series. I would be surprised if it was any less than a 6-game series.
Yeah.
I do think, that we both kind of pointed out this is an evenly matched series. And, you kind of pointed out the first 3 games were indicative of that.
Until now.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Like as we speak,
it is clobbering.
Yeah.
time.
It doesn't. It doesn't look evenly matched, but
it's a game of runs.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that the Knicks will likely get back into this game. But even with that, they would only tie the series even if this continues.
Right. Yeah.
There were a couple of things that stood out to me in Game 3, though. Number one, Wemby is mentally tough. No matter how this series shakes out. After that botch pass to Castle at the end of Game 2, the missed game winner, the emotional speech on the bench, the fight to get back in it, and then to fall short, those are things that could shake a lot of young players.
Mm-hmm.
And he responded with his best game of the series, coming back with 32 and 8 and really doing what we always want him to do, and that's play in the restricted area, get downhill. And no matter how this turns out, that's really telling about a young player.
For sure.
Because those are things that you can't teach. You either have that or you don't. You either have that, I'm going to respond, after a disappointment, as opposed to, I'm going to kind of wilt, it's my first time here. I'll be back. I have time, like those type, it's natural for those types of things to creep into the mind. Like, this is no big deal. If
Ask Penny Hardaway.
Yeah. If I do end up losing, and he's not taking that approach. The second thing that stuck out to me is that his confidence and poise permeates the rest of the team.
True.
The Spurs went 10 for 10 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter in Game 3. Even if you miss one of those, because it was only a 4-point win. So you miss even one of those, and it makes the game, the pressure mounts, especially on a young team. Again, the second youngest team in NBA Finals history and the youngest team since 1977.
And to that point, I think that you got to give the Spurs credit because they just nailed it with the guys. You look at
that's a great observation.
Like, to your point, you look at those clutch free throws Castle had to make in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
To basically make it a possession game.
Yeah.
What's 22, 21?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, right. Second year player, reigning. He was the rookie of the year last year.
And then you look at Harper, and you look at all of what he can do on the court. But I go back to the prior series and the incident with Castle and Caruso.
Yeah,
and it was instinctive for him to go get his guy and not let the situation escalate and him not take the bait.
Sure.
That's stuff that, we're hoping Russell Westbrook gets now. And I'm just using him as an example.
Right, yeah.
But you get my point.
You either have that or you
don't.
That's
the
the
point.
kind of poise.
And to kind of nail that with three guys, because to that point, Castle wasn't obtuse to it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be able to do that consistently, it's no coincidence that at this point, the last 29 years, that the San Antonio Spurs have either been in pursuit or basking in greatness.
Yeah, no, I concur.
And even the trickle downs when you look at the Sam Presties in OKC.
Yep.
Hell, Mike Brown on the sideline for New York right now.
Absolutely.
Permeate may just be the word for the night. You get what I'm saying? It's evident. So, to be able to do that, I envy them.
Yeah, those intangible type of things. And, that's a great observation, because that very well may be environmental. There may just be something in that environment that kind of, there's a standard there where, these guys just have that, great leadership. There's an incubator that
they can identify their guy.
Because these guys are, ultra talented. Don't get me wrong. But, there seems to be a confidence and a poise that they play with that it just permeates the entire team. There's leadership there. There's a basketball intellect that allows them to bounce back, and not just kind of wilt, when, again, like this, the New York Knicks are a veteran team. They've been rolling, there's an air of invincibility about them after those first 2 games. I mean, we're talking about a team that hadn't lost since day 1 of the NFL draft.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, the last time they lost before Monday was, the Boston Celtics were taking a 2-1 lead on the Philadelphia 76ers for context.
Yep.
And they had rattled off wins since then.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so you either have that or you don't. Now, that's the Spurs side of the coin. What we haven't really discussed is why the Knicks are currently in control of the series up 2-1. Why do you believe that is? We'll say the people's champ.
Well, the first 2 games, I'll say in the fourth quarters, I think Mike Brown did a better job of making adjustments.
I agree.
I think that
coaching, yeah, definitely.
I think that kind of reared his head, especially in the first 2 games. I'm just struggling saying that now as the Knicks are getting rolled by 25 with 8 minutes to go in the first half. But and also the Knicks in the first 2 games, they're always going to play you tough defensively. And I think when Victor falls in love with shooting jump shots, it kind of plays into what they like to do.
That. Yep.
And it plays into what their guys do best, like your Josh Hart. I think Josh Hart is like averaging 10, 11 rebounds in this series.
Yeah, most definitely.
And, a lot of those are like chase down balls from long threes.
Yep.
Brunson, I mean, he's shooting and dribbling a lot, but at the end of the day, the force is still there.
Sure.
With him. You know what I mean? I when we talk about force multiplier, I still think you feel his presence.
Absolutely.
Though you would like for him to be more efficient. But damn it, in a 7-game series, a 6'2" guy's efficiency is going to go down unless his name's Wardell.
Yeah, no doubt.
So, I mean, we just going to deal with that.
Yeah.
So, those were the main things to me in terms of what the Knicks did, because Towns, the first 2 games, I think he played really well.
Yep.
He came back home and
I thought game 3 he was underwhelming.
But I think game 1 he was outstanding.
Yeah, he was very good.
Game 2 he played well, but I think game 1 was a really good tone setter, and but he seems to kind of taper off these fourth quarters of all the games, even the games they won.
That's a great
fourth quarter.
That's a great observation. I was actually going to get to
okay.
that.
Yeah, he's been kind of a no-show there.
Yep.
So I think that's something that maybe the Spurs see, and maybe that's why they kind of focused on maybe getting him in foul trouble, which is what he's in right now.
Yeah.
So, maybe that kind of gets in Cat's head so that when he's in the game, he may force it a little bit.
Yeah.
We'll see. But, it's looking like it may be a long one.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, as to why the Knicks are, again, currently in control of the series, it looks like it'll probably be 2-2 after tonight. But
barring a Cavaliers-like collapse.
Yeah. Jalen Brunson, man. Through the first 3 quarters of games in this playoff run, he's shooting 45%. In the fourth quarter and overtime, 59%. So he's playing at the highest level, giving you his best efficiency when the game is in the balance. Again, we talked about it before we got on the air. He's got the 3rd highest usage rate in NBA Finals history up until this point, behind only Michael Jordan and LeBron. And entering into tonight's game, he's taking 44 more shots than any other Knick.
Yeah.
So, he's not an elite athlete, right? He's not a big guy. He's not an elite ball handler like Kyrie or Isaiah. He's not a big-time shooter like Steph, but he's got really good skills. He doesn't really have that one signature move. But when you look at him, you understand why he was a 2nd-round pick. But the guy, he's just fearless. He's just tough. And over the past 3 seasons, we talked about this too, his playoff averages are 29.6 points, 7 assists, and 3 rebounds. SGA's over the past 3 years, 29.2 points, 6.9 assists, and 5 rebounds.
Yep.
Virtually identical. I'm running out of reasons not to say that this guy is one of the 6 or 7 best players in the game.
Yeah.
And I understand that, you know, he has some challenges defensively. But with that being said, you know, and I guess this might be a moot point at this point. This question might be obsolete. But what do the Knicks need to do to take a 3-1 series lead? Start a fight with everybody on the Spurs bench.
They could go and get the Rock and Jock 25-point basket and lower that some bitch down over the Square Garden Center court.
Yeah, at this point, yeah.
And let Landry Shamet and Karl Anthony Towns have the whole at it. I mean, you know, man. But, yeah, I think they needed to come out and, you know, not fall in love with the press. And it seems that they may have done that. I know I did. I didn't like, again, I thought the sweep talk was hyperbolic, but I didn't see them dropping. And, again, we're being presumptive. But I didn't see them losing both games in New York.
Right.
I mean, the way this is trending,
yeah, right. So, yeah, San Antonio's going to take home court advantage back
because
tonight.
One thing I do remember about being young in any aspect, don't give no young person no confidence.
Yeah, man. Listen.
Let alone a young person that know what they doing.
Yeah, I mean,
like this thing could flip on its head.
You know,
very fast.
More importantly than that, though, I'm surprised that San Antonio's confidence wasn't shaken. Like, those first two games did not shake their confidence. Like, when I saw that, you know, I picked the Spurs in 6, but watching them lose those first two games and then watching them kind of have a little bit of a meltdown at the end of game 2, that scared me for my pick. I'm like, ooh. I'm like, you know, they young, but that, man, you know, they showed so much toughness.
But it's to your point, again, about Wemby, and I hate to turn this into the Wemby hour.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's the WNBA now. Deal with it.
Man, listen.
But you go back to 2024, the Olympics in his home country.
Sure.
Gold medal game. You lose that game
right.
in an all-time, you know, stakes and performance, right?
Sure.
But to be able to not run from that,
right? Yeah, no,
and to take it on the chin, and to kind of carry that over into the season. I mean, who knows where they would have been last year had he not had the blood clots in the shoulder?
Right. Yep.
You know, this thing could probably be over.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
You know what I mean? So, you look at that, and then you look at how it carries over this year, and how him along with, like, say, the Ant-Mans and the Cades made that All-Star game competitive.
Yeah, they did. Yep, that was really
and
good.
He spearheaded that, though.
He did.
Like, once he kind of announced that, hey, man, I'm not playing.
I'm playing, yeah. I'm going to play hard.
Everybody else was like, well, all right, shit then. All right, come on.
Yeah, right, yeah. If y'all don't play hard, you're going to get embarrassed because I'm playing hard.
So it's like everybody that's, like, acting like they got a wedgie about they're handing him over the face of the NBA.
He taking it.
He's been actively taking it.
Yeah, you know, he taking it.
For, like, the last year and a half.
Yeah, nobody stepped aside so that he could be in the finals.
I
man.
mean, you know, like, I get it. I trust me. I picked OKC to repeat. So,
right. Yeah.
I mean, understand where, you know, this is coming from a place where I'm trying to be as objective as possible.
Most definitely.
Like, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. I know AJ and I know J-Dub wasn't there, but damn it, our first banner came at the expense of Magic Johnson and Byron Scott chilling with bad hammies.
Hey.
And I love that championship just the same, and the gold on that Larry O'Brien shines just like the one the year after.
Listen,
so
injuries are part of the game.
Yeah, so, you know, that whole thing, I think, to your point with the team's confidence, it starts with Wemby, man.
Yeah.
I think they look at that dude, and they're like, hey, man, we got the biggest and the baddest.
I agree. I'm like, yeah, he's a leader, and he gives them, and his confidence is never shaken.
And he instills confidence in
them. Yes, that's what I said. That was my initial point.
And
I'm like, that permeates the team. Like, they believe that he believes, and so they believe.
And that's any work environment when the best guy in sales is helping out the new dude out of training.
Yep.
the best guy in sales is a bigger rock star. The legend just grows.
Yep, attitudes reflect leadership.
You know what I mean?
Always.
It's no matter what you do. So it's not a coincidence. And the Knicks are in trouble.
Yeah.
If this thing, because again, you look at what OG's been doing.
Yeah.
OG's been balling. Soft tissue injuries concern me, man.
Yeah, I know.
And the longer this thing goes, if you had a chance,
right?
I mean, you're going into the Garden.
Yep.
With 2, damn it, just get 1.
Yeah, no.
And again, there's a lot of time left. They could cavalier this thing.
Yep, they could. Yeah, they could come back and make it. But no, you're right. I mean, to your point, going into the Garden, this year the Knicks have the number 1 offensive rating at home. And they have the number 1 fourth quarter net rating in the history of the NBA. I'm like, for as long as they've been keeping net rating, you know what I'm saying? Like they got the number 1. So yeah, I mean, it's a major home court advantage. So yeah, like it would be a major coup for San Antonio to come in and get both games in MSG. It was very improbable prior to both of these games going down that they get both of them. That was extremely improbable. But
was that Cauchy? I wonder what the odds were.
I was gonna say you probably could have made some money.
Available. I'm pretty sure you go to their IG.
I'm sure you could have made some paper, man, if you bet them to win both games. But no, you brought up earlier about Karl Anthony Towns, because this is still in the vein of what the Knicks need to do to take a 3-1 series lead. Karl Anthony Towns has not scored a single point in the fourth quarter in this series. Yeah, dude. So and I'm gonna say again, like, I'm not mad at the whole Draymond Anthony Towns distributor act, but that only works when everybody's making threes. When Mikal Bridges decides to do his best Killian Hayes impression,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Or his best Ben Simmons impression, then that's not going to work, because now they need your points. One of y'all got to bring points.
Yep. And what ends up happening, to your point, is Jalen gets beat up in the media and in the press for shooting too much and pounding the air out the ball. Meanwhile, his wing guys are chucking bricks at the side of the guard. And
his second best player has decided that, he don't want to
be Irvin.
Yeah, right. It's like, bro, like, that's cool. Like, again, the distributor role is cool as long as everybody's making threes, as long as, the people you're distributing to are, number 1, being aggressive, and number 2, making the shots.
Yeah.
That role doesn't work, though, if Mikal Bridges, it done turned into Ben Simmons out there on the wing, and now we need some points from you. And I'm like, see, like Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns in the second half combined for 6 points in game 3. I'm like, they don't have enough pop off the bench to win like that.
No.
Like, especially when you look at the Spurs side of the aisle, they got Dylan Harper and the 6th man of the year, Keldon Johnson, coming off their bench.
Yeah, because all the Knicks would have. They could run ISO ball with Jordan Clarkson, but that's just like a diluted version of what you do with Brunson.
Yeah, and
that's with less efficiency. So
I was gonna say, and then no disrespect to Jordan Clarkson, but that might work, in the middle of the season against the Utah Jazz, but they have elite perimeter defenders.
Yeah, like or Fleury, but you can't sustain.
Who's he gonna take? He ain't gonna take Stephon. Stephon Castle's gonna take the ball from him at the top of the key and be back down to the other end scoring a basket. Like, that's only gonna work, a couple of times. And I thought Clarkson had a decent game in game 3. I think he had 10 points, but that's not gonna work.
No.
Like, they're all streaky guys that you can't depend on a regular basis.
It's not a formula.
Yeah. What you got, nephew? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not really a formula that you can depend on. So Jesus. So like, but you know what,
San Antonio up 62-38 with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter right now.
Yeah, man, it's getting ugly. It's getting late early, as they say.
I think they've went and got a defibrillator for Spike Lee. Right now.
Ty did jump in the chat and say Spurs in 6.
Yeah, I mean that's my pick, but listen, the Knicks will be heard from again. I don't necessarily think that
Tyrone, if you don't stop, now it's Spurs and 6.
I was gonna say we're not gonna throw dirt on the Knicks just
Lord,
yet.
He's about to just bury the Knicks now, man. Jesus Christ.
I know, yeah. Let's not overreact, but I mean, listen, they need to right the ship though. And Karl Anthony Towns, he's got to get, he's got to recalibrate.
But this concerns me a little though, because the Knicks have done this before. Like they did this earlier in the season. Remember when they like ran off a bunch of wins and then they went in the tank for like 5 weeks? Nope. I mean, it was like bad for like a month.
No, I'm the mayor of fair though. I got to be fair.
Yeah.
Mike Brown, when your big man is struggling, run something to get your big man an easy shot though. Like, they did the same thing to Cat in the second half. They just let him toil on the perimeter. They didn't run no clear. Like when they cleared out the side against Wemby early, Wemby has to respect the three. Mm-hmm. And Karl Anthony Towns can drive by Wemby, when he has to press up on him. I'm like, man, get cross screens. Screen Wemby off of him sometime.
Yeah.
I'm like, get creative with your big man. These bigs struggle, and these coaches just leave them out. I got to be consistent, because I said this about Duren. Yeah. I said this about Holmgren. I'm going to say it about Cat too. They did the same thing. That they just leave these bigs out on the island. If they struggling, hey, man, get it how you live, though. Sorry for you. Maybe get offensive rebound and a putback or something. And I'm like, y'all got to start running stuff for these bigs to get something easy.
And they leave them stranded when they'll have a matchup advantage.
This is what I'm saying. I'm like, man, they just leave these bigs to toil in obscurity for the rest of the game. Like, help your big man out, please, and thank you.
They'll go to it like once every 7 possessions, and it's just like,
yeah, like he's your second best player. Like, feed him continuously. Yeah. He's capable of doing just about everything on the floor. He's a really good player. He doesn't just have to linger around the perimeter. Karl Anthony Towns has the ability to do a number of different things to help you score on the offensive end.
Other than stand there and wait for kick out.
Man, but I digress, man. Let's flip the side. Let's flip the coin again. They doing a lot of it right now, but what do the Spurs need to do to even this series tonight, man?
Well, I mean, shooting 60% from the field will help.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, good God.
Like, scoring 70 in the first half. You think that gets it done?
That'll get you on your way. But I mean, they've done what I thought was pretty inconceivable, is that they didn't let the moment overwhelm them.
I agree. Yep. I'm very impressed, man.
Even going back to Game 3, where they gave up the lead, because they jumped all over them the beginning of Game 3. Then the Knicks came back and were up 7 at halftime.
Yep.
And I thought that was pretty much it. I was like, all right. I'm like,
their confidence that it can't be shaken.
Yeah, I'm like, they're going to come out in the second half and probably, keep them at bay. I thought the second half was going to be that, that nip-tuck 12 to 15-point game where, if they get it under 9-8, they might have a shot, but they don't really do it. But to come back and win that game the way that they won it, and some of the shots that they were making, it was some big shots being made.
Huge.
Again, man, young kids and confidence is a dangerous combination, because they'll get to trying some stuff they don't got no business doing, and then they start pulling it off.
Yeah.
And who we?
Yeah. The Knicks are shooting 39% from the field with Wemby on the floor, 58% from the field with him off the floor. That includes 33% from 3 with him on the floor, 46% from 3 with him off the floor.
That's crazy.
So the Spurs, they got to play better when Wemby is off the floor, particularly on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Because the Knicks are prioritizing getting in the paint, obviously, when Wemby is on the bench.
Yeah, I mean, Luke Cornett is.
Yeah, I mean.
God bless him. I mean, biggest block of the season.
Yep, and this postseason, when the Spurs win, Wemby attempts less than 5 3-pointers per game. And losses, on average, nearly 7. His layup/dunk rate in wins is 45%, and losses is 27%.
There you go.
His average shot distance in wins, 11 feet, and losses over 14 feet. It's easy, like when he prioritizes playing in the restricted area, the Spurs are a different team. Forget him being a different player. So he got to play in the paint. He's got to limit the three-point attempts. It's fine for him to step out on the floor at times,
right?
But that cannot be his number one source of offense.
Yeah.
So I think it's really just that simple for them. If Wemby plays with force and aggression, the series could turn around. I don't know that they just knocked the Knicks out the box, but if the Knicks can manage to push him out on the floor, that's how they maintain control. They got to keep him out of the paint.
Well, we are trending towards
a tied series.
Probably the most epic game of that sports has seen in a long time.
Yeah, man.
Because if this happens, oh my God, bruh, there isn't enough clinical physicians in New York that could handle the meltdowns these people would have if this goes the way this is going here. Now, again, this is early, but once this thing goes 2-2, the if that game starts, and oh, buddy, and the New York media,
oh boy,
oh, buddy, oh, buddy, yeah, San Antonio 71, New York 43, 2:26 left, second quarter.
What you got now?
Just want to mention what Ty said in the chat. Spurs should have won game 2. That game was fool's gold for the Knicks and their fans. They started celebrating the championship after that.
Well, I agree.
We talked about that too. I'm like, I know that the Spurs have to feel like they should be up 2-1. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think it's raining. Yeah, it's cracking on top of.
All right.
Yeah, it's raining where we at. But I know the Spurs got to feel like they should have been up 2-1, coming into tonight. So, I agree with that. That was just some errors by a young team. That's a young team, kind of
with a young coach.
Yeah, with a young coach. I think Wemby tried to make that outlet pass again. I'll shout out to the D Jones podcast. I was on the D Jones podcast on Sunday.
What up, though?
But I talked about Castle, man. You got to turn around, bro. You can't leave your 7'5" center out there to push the ball.
But did you see Fox next to Wemby? I thought Fox should have went and got the ball.
Yeah, I'm like, somebody get the ball from your big man.
Fox was standing right next to Wemby, and I thought Fox should have been like,
yeah, right here, big dog. I got you.
Because Castle was already out. I think Castle would have already assigned himself.
Right,
like,
and you don't want to try to run the break from the wing, which was a good
But again,
point.
I think it was a collective.
Yep.
To your overall point, I just think everyone collectively had a uncharted territorial brain fart.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Even if you just pull it down, maybe call a timeout, just whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just calm that situation down because you don't want to give up possession right there. But, that's a good point by Ty. Man, we obviously going to continue to keep our eye on the NBA Finals, man. There'll be more updates, more conversation about that to come.
And just like that, the rain stops.
Yep. Yeah, it's just that was just like a little flirt. I think that's what they said when the baseball game got delayed. They said it was just like these little Passover showers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, summer in Michigan.
Yeah, indeed.
I will say a lot has changed in 5 days. Because I was worried that tonight that we was going to be going in a whole different direction at the game soon. But
yes, I know. Yeah, nephew did say that.
Coronation night.
Man, let's talk about these NCAA hearings.
Oh man,
and the Nick Saban testimony
about rich men crying.
Oh man. So last Wednesday morning, former Alabama Crimson Tide head coach Nick Saban faced several United States senators, asking for them to, quote, bring order to a system that badly needs fixing, unquote. While he did say that Congress does not need to micromanage college athletics, he did say that there needed to be a national framework so that people inside of college sports could enforce fair rules. His testimony was in support of the Protect College Sports Act, which, among other things, looks to limit athletes to transferring schools only one time without penalty, limit athlete eligibility to a maximum of 5 years, limit former professional athletes from playing in college, and prohibiting schools from poaching a coach from another school during their season. That has been referred to as the Lane Kiffin rule. Saban admits that the bill isn't perfect, and he is sure many adjustments need to be made, but he still supports it. But my question to you is, do you support it? What say the People's Champ?
I mean, man, listen. The last dude to be sitting up here talking about college football reform is Nick Saban. Like, sit your ass down somewhere and stick to doing college football game day. Like, stop. Now, with anything, do there need to be improvements? Absolutely.
I agree.
But all of this uproar and hoopla, man, dude, give Reggie Bush his back pay on the jersey sales y'all still getting money off of, and Armani Toomer too. Like, stop. I don't want to hear none of these old rich bastards crying about crumbs that they can't get. This has only been a concern after Nick Saban and guys of the same ilk no longer had the pick of the litter when it came to the elite talent. You know, now if this was Kurt Signati spearheading this, then it would, then I would take it with a little more validity and seriousness.
Sure.
But coming from Nick Saban, it just sounds like a dude that's mad he got ran out of college football and he maybe want to get back in, but he can't unless they change the rules back to when he was running shit.
Yep. Well, I agree with just about all of that. So there are definitely some issues that could use some clarification within the landscape of college athletics. I think most reasonable people would agree on that.
For sure.
Do they require an act of Congress? I think is the question that I ask myself most urgently. I'm not sure, because the question that I ask myself when young people are involved is who's getting hurt? And more importantly, and specifically, are the young people getting hurt? So in this case, the answer is no, probably not. Not really. Are young people being hurt, being able to transfer an unlimited number of times without penalty? I don't think so. The question becomes, who does get hurt? Well, somebody like Nick Saban, who coached college football for 33 years and made $150 million. The system that he took advantage of held kids captive and penalized them essentially a year of eligibility if they wanted to transfer.
Preach on.
The system definitely benefits multi-billion dollar institutions
with a big B.
Definitely benefit. The new system has deviated from that. Are young people hurt by having more years of athletic eligibility in college? I don't think so. The question becomes, who does get hurt? Well, somebody like Nick Saban, who could hold you captive in his program, afraid to transfer because it would cost you a year of eligibility, and your eligibility years were already limited. Former professional athletes coming back to college, that's tricky for me because they just did disband the G League Ignite. Mm-hmm. And some of those guys that were playing there, they were extremely young. So who does it harm if they get an opportunity to go play for a college basketball program? Multi-billion dollar institutions, big money head coaches, and don't give me a less talented kid who they would play over anyway, because there are 361 NCAA basketball programs. There are plenty of roster spots for kids talented enough to play. I'm not interested in the Title IX conversation because I am the parent of a scholarship athlete that plays a non-revenue generating sport. I understand the nuances between what sports make money and what sports don't. And you know who else understands that? Nick Saban. He understood why he was making $7 million a year and the women's volleyball coach was making $250,000.
Preach on.
He wasn't marching in the athletic director's office or the university president's office demanding equity, insisting that his salary be split evenly among all of the head coaches in the athletic department. He didn't demand equity then. He wasn't worried about it. So let's discuss the elephant in the room, man, because we've been dancing around it.
Come on.
That's players getting paid.
Come on.
Are the undertones of this conversation really about players getting paid? Should there be parameters on how much money a player can make and where that money comes from? What say the people's champ?
Parameters. I think it's a good start.
Sure.
But it's tricky, man, because I'm hearing stories where like young kids are able to really help out their families with some of these NIL deals.
Absolutely.
You know, and you know, it's tough because you don't want, because there'll always be one or two that will do the wrong thing with it, and that's what gets propagated. You know,
sure.
So, but man, you know, I'm all for the kids getting paid, of course.
Yeah, no doubt.
Should you cap it? I mean, sure. I mean, there's a cap in professional sports.
Yeah.
To a degree, you know. So, I mean, yeah, I think there should be a cap, but I don't know where it starts. I think that's like where the conversation begins. You know, that's where the real conversation is. It's like, what's the baseline and what's the ceiling? You know what I mean? Because it's some serious lettuce being thrown around.
Yeah, listen, man. I agree with you. I think parameters are healthy with anything. I don't necessarily know that you should cap the amount of money. I think that it's healthy to know where the money is coming from.
Right.
You don't want it coming from untoward places.
Right.
You know, you don't want ethics to become an issue. But let me also say this. I never heard Nick Saban say the word budget when he was the highest paid coach in the country.
Unless they were washing money through a rental lot.
I never heard him worried about how much athletic programs were spending when it was time for him to negotiate his new contract. I never heard him raise an eyebrow when Oregon, Michigan, his school, Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, and countless others were spending hundreds of millions of dollars on stadium and facility upgrades.
Yep. It only started till teams started using the portal and kicking his ass.
Now that the players are getting paid, it's, quote, pay-for-play schemes, unquote. What?
No.
Yes, the players should be entitled to some of the money that they generate for the university. Why is that a hard concept for someone who walked into multiple athletic departments with his agent, Jimmy Sexton, to negotiate multiple very large contracts? Now, all of a sudden, $1 million on a wide receiver who's going to be a first-round draft pick is cause for a public hearing.
Control.
When coaches' salaries started skyrocketing, nobody thought it was a catastrophe. There were no calls to get college sports under control. Alabama just built a football operations center that cost $300 million. And Nick Saban comfortably sat in a chair in a public hearing and said that young men getting a portion of the proceeds they generate from colleges and universities is tantamount to a Ferrari speeding toward the Grand Canyon. He said that he's fine with NIL deals. In other words, as long as someone else is giving the kids the money,
Control,
like food
man.
and beverage companies or an athletic brand, but the university handing over money to these athletes risking life and limb on football fields is a pay-for-play scheme.
That's ridiculous. And
that's how they describe bid rigging in public finance hearings.
And they'll make money off that kid when their kid is old enough to go to college.
Exactly. In other words, he characterized this as criminality. And he believes as an act of Congress should go forward to get it under control. So let me ask the people's champ, because I think my tone is probably already giving you an indication about how I feel, but is Nick Saban the right spokesperson for this issue, and does his concern seem genuine?
I mean, Nick Saban can go sit on a cactus. I mean, get out of here. We've went through it. Like, it's so disingenuous. And again, who is he gaslighting?
Right. I mean,
Like,
really.
this is all about control. He's lost control, and the good old boy network has lost control.
Yeah.
And the toothpaste is out of the tube, and you can't put it back in.
Yeah.
And I guess he feels that the only way that something can be done is if he goes to Congress, because all the bitching that he could do at the NCAA, they're just looking at him like, you.
Right.
Are you serious? Like, just beat it, dude. Like, and all the guys crying are all, Saban and his disciples. All of them.
Yep.
All of them. And, good for them.
Right.
I hope it runs all of them out of college football. And maybe we can get some younger coaches that actually wants to run some new style offenses and can, let them be the ones that kind of curate this new NCAA structure going forward.
Yeah.
Because I think that they're more player-oriented
Sure.
and student-athlete oriented.
Absolutely.
Than a lot of these old guys that have been coaching now, north of 50 years. They only know one way.
Exactly.
And I mean, you can look at it in college sports. You can look at it in politics. We've got like an old people problem.
Right.
Like God bless them, but it's just like,
I think you nailed it.
Like, you can still make your money, but just go do it over there.
Right.
And let the daily operations be handled by people who have the energy, know-how, and are up to speed with how the daily operations should go.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, I agree. He has no ability. Nick Saban has zero ability to look at this situation objectively because he had too much success under the old system. He had too much professional success and too much personal success. In other words, he did too much winning and made too much money.
Yep.
And, I mean, listen, I can't begrudge him, and I don't begrudge him for making a lot of money. He was a great college football coach. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. But there would be no way to convince him that system wasn't better for everyone because it was certainly better for him.
Right. The guy who's a legend at maximizing opportunities are bitching at kids doing the exact same thing.
Exactly. I flatly question his sincerity with respect to this issue, though. And I'm not going to pretend that I know Nick Saban. I'm certainly not going to pretend to know what somebody is thinking.
Right.
But he never struck me as someone who was just enamored with young people. Yeah. And I know he coached, college football for a long time. His relationship with the players seemed fine. But I never heard anyone say anything particularly bad about him. But I never heard anybody waxing poetic about their relationship with him either. I'm not going to pretend to be dialed into Alabama football. But that's just my impression. He's an all-time great coach, but he had a little bit of a Bill Belichick type feel to him. Little matter-of-factness, in his approach to the guys. The antithesis of Dan Campbell, who seems like he's everybody's best friend.
We definitely bent your school over back in that day. Tell you that.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I mean, me and my dad was just talking about that too. My feeling is that there have to be some kind of ulterior motives, like you said, because the way college football, and by the way, college football as a product is so much better under the new system.
Right. Like, can we talk about that? Like, this new system is sweet.
Indiana just won the national championship for the first time since any of us have been alive. And they beat Miami, who has returned to respectability.
Right.
For the first time in decades. The field is wide open for more than 3 teams.
Yep.
There are more than 3 teams with a legitimate chance to win the national championship.
And what we're expanding to, a 16-team
This is what I'm saying. We finally getting a playoff like we wanted. This is what the new system has rendered. Players are getting paid real money. This is a good thing. The players are winning. The players are staying in college longer. That is how you manufacture that. You get guys to stay longer by paying them, and then they're happier. That's why you stayed so long, because you was getting paid. See how that works? When you get paid, you're happier and you stay longer. That's what we want for great college football players. Most of these guys are never going to get a chance to play at the professional level. This is their chance to make life-changing money now. That does not need to be obstructed. They're not being hurt. Who's getting hurt? Guys like Nick Saban are getting hurt. You know how we know? Because they the only ones complaining.
Yep.
I don't see student athletes
and
complaining.
Dabo.
Yeah. I don't see student athletes sitting in front of a congressional hearing, whining about how things went. And you've made a fortune. You want to be the only one getting the fortune.
Yep.
Now the kids are making a fortune, and you like, hey, something got to be out of whack. Because eventually this might end up impacting my fortune.
Yep. It started when Prime got Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
That's when he started making a stink about it.
So speaking of college football and things that need to be fixed, though, let's talk about this Brendan Sorsby thing before we transition. He was previously ruled ineligible by the NCAA after it was discovered that he wagered approximately $90,000 on college and professional sports over a 4-year period, including 40 bets involving Indiana football when he was a freshman in 2022. The NCAA denied Texas Tech's appeal for reinstatement on Friday. However, a Texas judge granted Sorsby a preliminary injunction Monday that prevents the NCAA from punishing him for violating its rules on sports gambling. Judge Ken Curry ruled that Sorsby will suffer, quote, imminent and irreparable injury, unquote, if he is unable to play for the Red Raiders in 2026. That injunction also prevents the NCAA from prohibiting Sorsby from practicing or playing this fall. The NCAA has filed an appeal in Lubbock, which was accepted, and it is on the docket for February of 2027. In case you're counting, that is after the conclusion of the college football season. So it seems that Sorsby has won the day for now. Currently, it appears Texas Tech is standing behind him, though he will face a 2-game suspension for the first 2 games. So let me ask the people's champ, should Texas Tech cut ties with Sorsby or allow him to play since he won his court case?
I mean, you didn't win through all this with him. You might as well. I mean, at this point, good God. Like, you've gone through all of this. And, I mean, I hope it's worth it because, I mean, this has got to be the peak for Sorsby.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how you do anything football related after this, man. Like, you are, like, untouchably hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, like, you look at what's going on with, the NBA right now, and this, like, every day it's a new discovery about what Terry Rozier had going on. And
right.
I was just reading the other day that the investigation on Malik Beasley is still open, and NBA teams can't talk to him.
Yeah, I know.
Pistons still hold his right. I mean, it's just so there's that aspect. I mean, to his credit, I hear he's went to rehab for it and completed.
Right. Yes, he has.
Was it 45 days, I believe, treatment or 90-day treatment? Were that good on him? But that being said, though, the NFL, a pretty unforgiving.
Yeah, I mean,
entity.
Yeah, but go ahead.
But
man.
it's like, it's it's gonna be tough, man.
Yeah.
But at this point, Texas Tech. I mean, you've been in bed with them this far,
right?
And I mean, it looks like you've got the clearance because I don't foresee any appeal expediting, a reversal.
Right. Yep.
So
I agree. This one was a tough one for me, but I am compelled to ask the same question as I always ask. I mean, who was hurt? I mean, he's a young guy that did something stupid and he got caught, but sometimes the punishment don't fit the crime. I mean, is he a compulsive gambler? Does he have a problem? Did rehab mitigate his issues? I mean, I don't have the answer to any of those questions. But what I do know is that from a very broad perspective, I mean, this was pretty much a victimless crime. I mean, he didn't steal from anybody. It was his own money. The details are embarrassing. Betting on Indiana football in 2022 and per pitch at the Reds. I mean, my God. But it's entirely possible that he did learn his lesson. I mean, with respect to the other teams boycotting and refusing to play Texas Tech, respectfully, stop the nonsense. There's way too much money at stake. Tickets have already been sold. Television contracts have already been negotiated, and wins and losses are too precious in college football. Listen, I don't know, man. I feel like I should be more passionate about it, but
I mean, that's just kind of where we're at now.
Yeah, I mean, the NCAA, there have been guys that have done much worse things.
Yes,
that have played on college football fields. Let me just say that, and there's no need to revisit those misgivings presently, but we all know what's what.
Right.
Let's just say that. Some of our favorite teams have passed on guys. Our favorite NFL teams have passed on guys in the first round, because of what they did in college.
Right.
That was against the law. So, he didn't break the law. He broke a rule, NCAA rule. He's going to serve a 2-game suspension. And, if they, I didn't feel bad for him when they ruled him ineligible. Like if they reverse the rule on his eligibility, I won't feel bad for him if he don't get to play. I don't feel bad that he's getting to play. I think I'm okay with it. And I think I would have been okay with it the other way. What you got, nephew?
He shouldn't be playing. Point blank simple. I'm sorry. He should not be playing. You basically, at this point right now, you're basically saying by the letter of the law, like because of this injunction, you're basically saying it's okay to bet on yourself and play sports, no matter the result. Yeah. That's what you're pretty much saying at this point. So anybody who had Jonte Porter at this point, because you're saying the NCAA cannot discipline somebody for betting on themselves or betting on a competition that they were in. So things like, if I'm Jonte Porter, I need to get an injunction. I should be able to play basketball in the NBA. If I'm Terry Rozier, I shouldn't be sitting out right now because it's just been said in the court that I should have a right to see how this case goes out and see how it goes, and I should be able to play. Like at the end of the day, like this is crazy to me. Like that you're basically saying that. I know we don't typically agree with the NCAA, but at some point, they need to be able to enforce their rules. And something as simple as, you cannot bet on your competition. That's bad because that's an ethics problem at the end of the day. Like,
I don't disagree. But the difference is that Jonte Porter and Terry Rozier play in a professional sports league that has a collectively bargained agreement, and they are members of the union. That is not the same thing as the NCAA. So, while I agree with you, the NBA and those specific teams have the right to cancel their contracts. And Texas Tech is a different entity than the NCAA. So I agree that it is an ethical problem if he was wagering on games and if he got caught wagering on games. But I think that what the judge is saying is that this was victimless in this particular situation. It's not the same as playing in a professional sports league. And also, I'm not sure about.
It was also victimless when it was running rapid in the Big East in the 80s.
Yeah, what? You mean when they was point shaving?
Yeah.
No, that's not victimless because they was point shaving. And I'm not sure if he did this at Texas Tech either. You know what I'm saying?
He hasn't played at Texas Tech yet. I think that's neither here nor there. I think the problem is you're opening the door to a slippery slope that can
I
lead
don't disagree.
to that lead to people.
Because they've done that once they started making sports betting legal.
Right. This is my thing. Like at this point, like now with NIL, you have the doors open for anybody to say, hey, take this NIL deal. I need you to blow this game, and we're gonna take care of you.
Yeah, listen. Again, that's not completely incorrect. I do agree that it's an ethical problem, but I think his situation is different because of when it happened, and I think that the NCAA as an entity is not the same as a professional sports league where you're in the union and you have a collectively bargained contract where those rules say, hey, you do this and your contract is canceled. Again, I do think it's an ethical problem.
Yeah, I mean, like ethical problems are legal. Like Terry Rozier broke the law.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, Terry Rozier, he did something. Like, what he did, like he was telling other people to bet on the game.
He broke the law.
he done did. They and Jonte Porter, they was doing something totally different.
They were bookies for themselves.
Yeah, they was basically, they was manipulating the outcome of the game. As far as we know, he didn't do that. All he did was place wagers on the game. Again, I agree with you. It's still an ethical issue.
All are bad.
It's still an ethical question and an ethical issue. We're not disagreeing on that. It's a weird gray area. But I think that what the judge said in the injunction is that more harm would be done to him than harm is done to the NCAA if he plays. I think that, that is that was the legal question anyway. Whether or not, it's the right thing or the wrong thing, or, I'm not necessarily saying it's right or wrong. I just, he's going to be punished with the 2-game suspension. And, should he be banned forever and ruled ineligible, I think is the question. When was the last time he placed a bet? What was the nature of the bet? How did it impact the outcome of the game? I don't know that information is available, or did he manipulate the outcome of a game? I don't know that he did any of that, and I don't know if that is available. I don't know if he's still betting, or whether or not he went to rehab and tried to, get himself fixed up. Again, like all of that, those are all questions that we don't necessarily have the answers to. But again, I mean, I just think that this was sort of a victimless crime. He was placing a lot of dumb wagers and doing a lot of dumb stuff with a online sports betting app, and he won the injunction. Again, I wouldn't have felt bad if he didn't get to play, but I'm also not up in arms that he does.
Right.
That's just my perspective. But I see where you're coming from. I don't think that you necessarily in the wrong if you feel like he shouldn't play. I don't think anybody's wrong if they think that. I just don't have strong feelings that he shouldn't play. I don't necessarily think that what he did was so egregious, but I just don't have strong feelings because I don't think he was manipulating outcomes of games, or at least that hasn't been proven. Let me say that. I don't think that is proven that he was manipulating outcomes of games. And that's exactly what Terry Rozier and Jonte Porter were doing, by the way. So anyway, you got anything else now? Okay. All right, man, let's get a little Jalen Duren contract update and have a little discussion about the Pistons offseason, man. The Pistons continue to negotiate with Jalen Duren for a contract reportedly in the range of 5 years, $220 million, somewhere between $200 and $220 million is what's being reported. There are rumblings that the two sides are far apart with respect to an agreement, though there have been no official reports to confirm that. There have been reports of contingency plans in case negotiations fall apart or if a deal is unable to be agreed upon. One name that came up is Daniel Gafford, who could be a potential trade piece. Khalil Ware is another name, but Miami seems to have him as the centerpiece of a Giannis trade only. And we've previously discussed Mark Williams and Robert Williams as possible replacements. Let me ask the People's Champ, are you comfortable with any of these names, none of these names, one of these names, or do you want something else entirely?
Yeah, none of these. Hell out. No. If you're talking Dallas, give me Lively. I don't want Gafford.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would prefer Lively.
I would entertain a Lively,
even though that's not a name that they floating. So it sounds like they might want to hold on.
Don't
to him.
give us Daniel Gafford, man. Come on, man. No. I like Khalil Ware. I mean, from what I've seen, I've seen him.
I would love
times.
Khalil Ware, but I don't know how real that one is.
Yeah, I mean, he's got some serious upside.
Yeah, I agree.
Got And he's got like that real big man length that I guess like the league is trending towards now.
Absolutely.
The way things are looking in terms of post play. So, I mean, those are like two guys but anything else, I mean, Robert Williams, I mean, yeah, if you can get him for cheap, but I just hope they can get a number on this contract for Duren.
I agree.
You know, again, we talked about it last week. Sometimes, you know, the guys with the suits just got to earn their check.
Yep. In our lifetime, I always like to do the in our lifetimes. There has been one 5-year stretch where teams won NBA championships without a Hall of Fame caliber power forward or center. That's the bad news. Good news is that one of those teams was a Pistons team. That'll be the bad boy Pistons. They had Rick Mahorn and Bill Laimbeer in 89 and Bill Laimbeer and James Edwards in 90. Then right after that, Jordan's first three-peat Bulls had Bill Cartwright and Horace Grant in the front court. And that's it. I was 12 and a half last time that happened. Everybody else before, going back to 1980 for sure, and everybody else since has had a Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame caliber. I say Hall of Fame caliber because not all of them are in yet, but they're trending.
Laimbeer is right on the outside of the club.
Correct. They're all they're trending that way. So yeah, I mean, you know, so with that being said, I say that because there are Pistons fans who want us to have Paul Reed jump in center.
Nah, man.
Next
Let's cut
game.
that out. Let's stop that.
In my opinion, that gives us zero chance to win the championship.
Love Paul Reed, but no.
I like Ware, but again, I think conversations about him are fantastical. I don't really know how real they are. And despite the fact him and Spoelstra have had issues, I don't think that Miami is going to let him go. And the rest of the guys are journeymen. They're not Hall of Fame caliber. And Duren is, again, at 22, he could be trending in that direction. All-star, already been an all-NBA type player. So if we let him go, then that would mean that one or two things would need to be true. And we'll just play some fantasy for a little bit.
Okay.
One or two things would need to be true. Cade Cunningham and Asar Thompson would either need to be Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman, in which case we'd need to find our Joe Dumars this offseason. Joe Dumars made 5 straight all-defensive teams, including 4 first teams. And he also made the All-NBA team twice, I think, in there. So we need to find somebody of that caliber, or they would have to be Jordan and Pippen. That's what you need if you don't have a Hall of Fame caliber, a Hall of Fame or Hall of Fame caliber big man. So I think the more realistic comparison would probably be Isaiah and Rodman, because I don't know that Asar is as offensively gifted as Pippen. I don't know if he ever will be.
Right, but he's definitely better offensively than Rodman.
Of course, yeah. That's why we would need our Joe D.
Yeah, for sure.
So let me ask the people's champ, man, since we just playing a little bit of, we just kind of playing a little bit of fantasy, which is more likely for us to happen, for us to find our Joe D or for Asar Thompson to turn into Pippen?
Asar turning into Scottie Pippen.
You know what? That's intriguing. I was thinking a lot about that.
Man, and again, I don't want to turn this into like the shit on Scottie segment, because there was a certain time in my life where I was like heavy on Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen's a phenomenal man.
Oh man, I love Scottie.
Was a phenomenal player.
Yeah, one of the best two-way guys.
But he was built.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's not a knock.
No.
I mean, like, there's something to be said to be able to go up against Michael Jordan in practice daily and to take something from it and add it to your game, and then have the physical gifts to go with it. And the reason I say that is because I think Asar Thompson has some physical ability that, that just God just gave a little bit extra to.
Yeah. No, he's an otherworldly athlete.
But it's the athleticism, combined with his instincts.
Yeah.
The toughness.
Yep.
he have a lot. He have a lot, and I remember when Scotty couldn't really shoot, and he developed the 17-foot bank shot.
Yep.
And he got, more comfortable with the ball in his hands because they were trying to experiment with BJ and Paxton. And then once they kind of put the ball in Scotty's hands and put BJ and Scotty off in those corners,
Sure,
with the triangle,
yep,
it kind of unlocked it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And again, being Scottie Pippen may be a stretch. It's a heavy stretch.
And by the way, I mean, K being Michael Jordan, it might even be more of a stretch.
Exactly. Like, but
this is all a hypothetical,
right?
So.
But what I mean is, I think that he can be a consistent 17 to 19 point a game scorer.
Sure.
A 7 to 8 rebound guy.
Yeah, most definitely.
A 5 to 6 assist guy. I think Asar can be that, along with the 2.5 steals, 1.5 blocks. I think he can be that.
Yeah, no,
eventually. So
he can definitely push the ball. I like him pushing the ball. He definitely got the rebounding and the defense down. I think that the biggest challenge would be the offense.
Yes, for sure.
But I think everything, like Scotty, I think 8-time first team all defense. All of that, I think, could be definitely something that Asar could draw from. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I definitely think that, yeah, he could be, I think he closer to Pippen than Rodman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
But
damn, but either way, like, are you mad?
No, we just have to find our Dumars if we lose
sure,
Duren.
right.
Like this is all a hypothetical.
Or maybe he's kind of like a tweener.
Yeah, yeah. Like I mean, the more likely scenario is that he's some kind of hybrid of the two. That's what I think is the more likely scenario.
And again, you look at his frame; he's going to get stronger.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what I'm looking forward to see, because he's got a nastiness to him.
Yeah.
So I want to see if he gets to the point where he can start to impose on people a little more.
Yeah, most definitely.
Especially being a defender. So
yeah. But I fully anticipate that we will, we'll hear something after the start of the new league year that they've gotten something done with JD.
Don't look now. The Knicks have cut it to 16.
Oh. Okay. How many? How much time?
5 minutes left to go in the third.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think they're gonna be heard from this.
Spurs 81, New York 65.
Let's talk about we on Brown watch. LeBron James is, I thought he had already met with Steph, but this meeting is imminent, as they say. So according to sources, the Warriors remain, quote, legitimately interested, unquote, in adding LeBron James to their veteran core of Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. To that end, apparently a meeting between LeBron James and Steph Curry is going to take place. Steph is expected to pitch LeBron on the convenience of San Francisco, not necessarily having to uproot his family. From a basketball standpoint, the veteran core believes LeBron would add stability to the lineup, as he played over 1,900 minutes last season, while giving them an additional ball handler and playmaker. Is LeBron a fit for the Warriors, and would you like to see LeBron in a Warriors uniform next season? What say the people's champ?
This is going to shock some people. I feel LeBron James is a fit pretty much anywhere he goes.
Yep.
He is that good. That said, I do not want to see him on the Golden State Warriors. No. It will just spit in the face of what we watched as basketball fans for the last 10 years. Like, it would just,
would it, though?
Like, yeah, because it would be like, bruh, if the whole Golden State dynasty thing doesn't happen, the GOAT conversation's over. LeBron James probably has 6 or 7, 8 championships.
That's entirely possible.
And the main reason why you don't is because of Steph Curry. And then you, on the way out the door, you gonna try to team up with him to get 5? Nah, bro. Don't do it. Don't do it. Like that. No, bro. Come on, man. Come on. come. I know you struggling to get fired up. Come on over here, dog. We can do it together. That would be weak on both parts. I mean,
and then they not getting 5.
they're not going to win. I mean, okay, come on,
happen.
dog. LeBron, Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, Kristaps Porzingis combined will probably play 70 games.
I was going to say 82 games between them.
70.
I mean,
because Jimmy's always hurt. Porzingis is always hurt. Steph's always hurt. LeBron's getting old, and Draymond, once somebody else gets hurt, Draymond will get hurt too.
right. He going to be like, all right, that's it.
Hell with this.
I mean, yeah,
So,
what a
no,
geriatric lineup.
Man, nobody wants to see that. I don't. I mean, it would have been cool 6-7 years ago.
Right. Yeah, it would have been intriguing.
But now, the Wild Hogs edition, hell no.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to remain steadfast in my belief that LeBron should retire.
I was about to say, the question is now, is it true that the Lakers said they're not going to re-sign him? Or is that like one of those sports Kita?
No, I mean, I've seen multiple sources that have said that they're not prioritizing him.
Okay.
Let me say that.
But the priority is Reeves?
Yeah, but now Austin Reeves wants 241. Yeah. So
Austin got a hold of that Cali sticky.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like that's the last thing I read again. I mean, you don't know how credible all of these sources are. There's a lot that's swirling around. But yeah, I mean, like they said, Austin Reeves wants a max.
I mean,
yeah, he said he wanted 241. So
I get 200.
Yeah, and and by the way, I'm pretty sure that Golden State could only give LeBron the full mid-level, which is like $15 million.
And then if they get it, who's going to be on this roster? Who's going to play defense?
And again, I said that LeBron is actually worth a lot more than that, but he's
For
41 years old.
No, don't get me wrong. Like if it happens, LeBron and Steph coming to your town still going to sell out.
Yeah.
If they play, they'll be low managed that game. Trust and believe. Unless it comes on national TV, they are low managing that game.
They should put the rule in place that you can't low manage for road games. They should do that if Steph and LeBron go on the same team. But that's neither here. That's another conversation.
Say unless they're in a cast.
Yeah, right, exactly. Unless they legitimately hurt. But but at 41 years of age, he's thinking about proximity to his family, not wanting to uproot his children. What makes the most sense
then
for
all his kids
him
in college?
No, he got a little girl.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Zuri.
Yep. And and how he wants to end his career. And yeah, I, like you, have zero interest in seeing LeBron in a 4th uniform. It cheapens the legacy for me. It doesn't diminish it.
No.
Before the Brown Hive comes after me. I don't think it diminishes his legacy, but it cheapens it. Like he doesn't need to do that. And I definitely don't want to see him playing for the mid-level exception. I'm sorry, that just cheapens the legacy, man. And that's just my perspective. Like LeBron does not need to do that. He doesn't need to do that. If it comes to that,
just go back to Cleveland, dog. If you're gonna take the mid-level exception, go back to
right.
Cleveland.
I mean, right, yeah. Like I'm sure they got
and just make it about the land, bro. Like, just make it all
right.
the
Yeah,
whole
don't be going
family
to don't go to a 4th uniform, dog.
man.
Just go back to Cleveland.
Go play for the Warriors for what? Like they're not gonna win anything, bro.
At all. But see, I think it's only a 45-minute plane ride down to L.A. See, he thinking about proximity. He thinking like a 41-year-old though. That's what I'm saying. Like that, because 41-year-old basketball players
don't exist,
are retired. Yeah, like because that's how you thinking. You got a family. You're not trying to be uprooted. He got $1 billion. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't have to do this. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it's convenient as long as you could be in L.A., bro. And you're not gonna go to the Clippers. So I mean, just retire. Stop it.
Kill the Wild Hogs.
Yeah, bro. Just stop it, bro. Lions OTA injury update, man. Kendrick Law, man. Detroit Lions rookie wide receiver Kendrick Law tore his ACL during a non-contact practice drill and will miss the entire 2026 NFL season. Head coach Dan Campbell announced the unfortunate news, noting that the injury occurred during OTAs. He is expected to have surgery immediately and be ready to return for the 2027 season. Does this latest injury raise questions about offseason preparation, or is it simply bad luck? What say the people's champ?
I'm going to go with C, all of the above, Professor. Good God, man. I saw this come across. I'm just like, it never ends. It never ends. OTAs, bro.
Yes, the second week of OTAs.
Like,
good grief.
It's just brutal, man. I don't know. You know, if it's, I don't know what goes on there with a non-contact. It's like, what do we got to start checking the soil and the dirt and the grass? I don't know.
Hey, man.
Is it an equipment thing? Is it? I mean, I don't know.
It might just be bad luck.
With the ventilation system, like,
but I don't trust this administration anymore.
Yeah, I'm so over it right now, dude.
The injury situation under Dan Campbell has been unbelievable.
Yes.
Last year, we had the second most games missed due to injury.
Did we ever find out what happened to Sam Laporta's back?
Behind the Arizona Cardinals, who were a mass unit. The year before that, we had the second most games missed due to injury behind the Chicago Bears, who were all beat up. At some point, we have to audit the way we do business as an organization. With our off-season program, our in-season program, and Dan Campbell can't be the one doing the auditing. He can't be the one doing the auditing because we've had over 500 games missed due to injury in the past 2 seasons. That's the difference between a Super Bowl and 2 disappointing seasons. And if you want to argue, the produce section at your local food market is open until 11 p.m. I'm not talking about special teamers. I'm talking about our number 1 tight end with a herniated disc, as you just brought up. The number 2 tight end, our starting right guard with a broken leg, our number 1 defensive tackle with a torn ACL, our starting strong safety with a ruptured Achilles, our starting free safety with a bone bruise, our nickel linebacker with a torn ACL, our number 1 cornerback with a broken jaw, and on and on and on and on. The program does not work. And the best ability is availability. And the second best ability is sustainability. And averaging 250 missed games per year due to injury, there's no way to accomplish either. And that's just that. And I feel like we've given that speech 10,000 times on this show.
Hey, man, but you missed an important point. Terry and Arnold's back.
For now, as you said with Joe Burrow, I'm going to use your line on you. For now, he always nicked up. He always got an ankle or a hammy or a calf.
Or he's hamstringing us when he does play.
Exactly.
Good God, man. Like I said, man, this team, you know, it's just – I'm just frustrated with the fact that we've started the cycle just earlier than advance. Like, I anticipate this every year with this team. I just was hoping we could put it off to like at least August, but we're here.
Yeah, man. Yep. You thought the injury bug wasn't gonna start buzzing until at least the official start of summer. I mean, but I guess we'll have to take the unofficial start of summer,
right? Which
was Memorial Day. Also on the injury front. Last week, Coach Dan Campbell was asked explicitly about Kirby Joseph's injury status. Months after a knee injury ended his 2025 season, the indication was that it is uncertain how the all-pro safety's recovery will translate once football activities resume. Speaking before OTAs, Campbell expressed that the team was in a wait-and-see mode. When asked this past week, he said, quote, "I don't know. I honestly do not know,
Good
unquote.
Lord.
He said, quote, I know this. We've done everything we can do, and he's done everything he can do to this point, unquote. Kirby has yet to return to football-related activities. And I'll just ask, man, any thoughts on Kirby? I know we've, kind of beat this horse to death, so I didn't have any specific question, man, but if you have any thoughts, man, I'll take them.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, it's a funky situation, man. That's all I got. That's all I got, man. Oh, man, and then we on to the SS segment, man.
Oh, this is easy this week.
Yeah, I
The
know.
New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, man.
Knock it off.
Yeah, y'all got to stop.
This is
man.
knock it off. Like, what are we doing?
Y'all must be stopped, though. Y'all beating up the little San Antonio Spurs fans.
They
It's
jumped the
insane.
dude with a Hawks jersey on.
Yeah, like what? What
Like,
he do?
They just, bruh,
Unhinged.
this is just insane. Not cool. Not it. I mean, we get it. It's been 53 years since you won a championship. None of it justifies lynching people, pretty much.
Right,
Like,
yeah. I mean,
come
beating
on,
up
man.
Spurs fans is not going to get you closer to the championship, guys.
I mean, not only is it sucker shit, it's criminal shit, and it
Yeah.
will get you locked up, and rightfully so.
Yeah, that was I concur. Also, man, I saw a content creator do the most unhinged preemptive hating on Wemby. Dog.
Oh, what happened?
He said he don't want to see Wemby win the championship because he thinks the glazing would be insane. And I'm like, bruh, I have never seen
Coming out of the LeBron James era?
Bruh, I've never seen preemptive hating before, though. I'm like, is this preemptive hate? I've never seen preemptive hate
He's
before.
sitting in the cut. Wait, that's how supervillains are made.
Right, I'm like, bruh, I'm like, man, seek therapy, dog.
That's how villains are made, dude.
This is unhinged behavior to be hating preemptively. Like, I'm just about to start hating. I'm like, he ain't even won yet, bruh.
Well, I've been seeing some commentary from some former players turned podcasters where I've kind of heard that by that type of tone.
That's insane.
It's been a lot of, I guess, resentment where you kind of get the feel where it's being placed upon him, the crown, so to speak, and he hasn't earned it. And I mean, I've heard this from more than one.
I mean, listen, you have
Sounds
to
like hate to me.
Yeah,
but
you got to earn the title, though. Like, if he wins the championship, it won't be because anybody just let him win the championship.
When you hear stuff like they want him to be ... It's just like, who are they?
Yeah, like
who are they, Mr. Brown?
Yeah, like no, he has to earn it. Like, stop with the conspiracies, bro. Like he's got to earn. He's earning it.
Yeah,
He's earning his title.
yeah. He's still playing. It's fluid.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so that was also under the sucker shit segment. I'm like, man, don't preemptively hate on somebody. That's unhinged behavior. Seek therapy if you're doing that, man. Unbelievable. You got anything, nephew? All right, man. Let's you know what? The debate roundtable topics, man.
Okay.
I want to throw some by you, man. Take some suggestions. Because we want to get this started like after the 4th of July sometime. So obviously we got the GOAT debate. We don't have to start with that one, but greatest player to never win a title. I like that one you brought up. Greatest defensive player of all time.
Man.
Greatest American player currently. I like that one. Those are the 4 that I have right now. And I'm working on some football topics. I would do like greatest wide receiver, greatest running back, but I think we already,
That wide receiver one.
Yeah, I think that's heating up. I'm hearing Randy Moss more and more.
I mean, people are crazy, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
you are
I feel
entitled
like
to
it's
your
Jerry
opinion.
Rice. And,
It's Jerry Rice by 2 people.
Yeah, I feel like it's Jerry Rice, and it's not a lot to discuss, but
Yeah, I mean,
we might have some Randy Moss people
hey,
out
listen,
here.
I love Randy. Like, listen, my mama from West Virginia. I love me.
I'm
some
not
Randy.
a hater on Randy
And
Moss.
Randy was dope, but Bro, Jerry
Randy was
Rice is
fire.
in a whole
I'm like,
galaxy.
I feel like it's Jerry Rice and nobody else.
Man.
Same thing with the GOAT running
Speaking
back.
speaking of 41, Jerry Rice had 1,414 huts at 41.
That's what I'm saying. Like, Jerry Rice is different, and same thing with running back. I'm like, it's Barry Sanders, bro. Like, it's Barry. Now that one I think is more debatable. I feel like that one is more debatable.
Yeah, man, because
but not for me.
I mean, I am pro Barry Sanders all day, but if you want to die on the Walter Payton hill,
Yeah,
that is an honorable hill to die on.
No, listen, there are guys with better numbers.
Absolutely different, bro.
There are guys with better numbers, Doug, but
there are two players that play running back that were like the offense.
Yeah.
And like Barry Sanders
That's
and
what I'm
Walter
saying,
Payton for like it was just
there ain't a better
unfortunate.
10 years than Barry. Though.
Oh no, I mean
there ain't no better career than his, though.
But
that's a good one. But I'm like, I'm gonna delve into some football.
Yeah, man.
Some football topics.
I mean,
man.
I love Barry. I mean, but man, sweetness.
Because I think greatest defensive player in football is 1-2.
And Neudberg.
Yeah.
Hey man. June 1994 side.
Yeah.
We talking running backs.
Yeah.
Hey, man, Neudberg's in the room.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, so, yeah, I think, we going to toss some of those around, man. I think
that'd be good.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some spirited debate roundtables, man. We're going to be reaching out to the family and getting some family involved, man. I think that, we should have at least 3 of those over the summer. At least 3 debate roundtables. So, those should be spirited, and we'll reach out to some of the family and get everybody involved, and we'll let you know how you need to prepare, what questions you need to prepare to answer, and what the topic will be.
And what snacks to bring.
Maybe since it is a round table, maybe we will put snacks on the table, man. Not too much chewing in the mic though. You got anything to add to this segment, nephew?
All of them sound better than the GOAT conversation. I'm
you
sorry.
don't like that one.
I seen more Michael Jordan fan versus 10 LeBron fans.
I saw that too.
It's just you're not changing nobody's mind at this point.
No.
It's just now if we talking who's the GOAT point guard, okay, now we can okay, now we having
go position by position.
now we having a discussion because now I think you got something that we can have a thoughtful conversation on. LeBron versus Jordan, I just feel like that's just gonna end up in people just sounding like cuckoo birds.
Yeah,
and talking in circles.
I think there's a way to curate the debate where we not just going around in circles. I think it's ways to ask the questions where they not too open-ended, but I tend to agree. It's overdone. You right about that. Like it's probably the most overdone topic right now on the sports landscape. So
if somebody with a M and followers want to talk Jordan LeBron, then hey, I'm more than happy to have that discussion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. LeBron got a lot of media minions out here. Listen, I'm willing to have the conversation. I know y'all are less enthusiastic about it than me, but listen, that topic gonna do numbers though. That's what I will say. Like, no matter who's having that conversation, that's why it's dudes that talk about that 100% of the time.
For sure.
They do numbers on them pages because, the Brian Hive, one way or the other, they're engaging. You know what I'm saying? They gonna engage with you no matter what. But I feel you. Like, we not gonna whore out our page just for clicks and views. Like, we always gonna have integrity on this page. But I think it's a worthy conversation because, listen, a lot of LeBron fans are very poor historians.
Man.
So, and some Jordan fans too. But a lot of LeBron fans are very bad historians. So, you just hear a lot of historical inaccuracies when you hear those debates. So, at any rate, man, we'll kick it around. We'll make sure that, it's entertaining for the people and also informative, most importantly. But if ain't nobody got nothing else, man, we'll wrap this one up. Another one in the books. We appreciate y'all so very, very much for joining us. Y'all make sure y'all continue to like, share, and subscribe. That's Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast on YouTube. That's Everybody Has One sports podcast. Everybody Has One spelled out sports podcast everywhere else. That's Facebook. That's Instagram. That is Twitch. That is TikTok. And that is Threads. And the audio version of the podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. When you subscribe to that YouTube channel, which is, again, Everybody Has the #1 sports podcast, make sure you hit that bell notification. When you hit that bell notification, make sure you hit all so that you are informed every time that we go live, every time we post new content, new shorts, new videos. We need y'all tapped in with us every single time. Make sure you're telling your friends, telling your enemies, telling your mom, telling your dad, telling your siblings, cousins, man. When you have family functions, make sure you're telling everybody to tap into the Everybody Has One podcast. Meet us back here next Wednesday at 8:30 or as close as we can get to it, man. We'll be chopping it up about the latest sports topics, national, and, of course, this is a Detroit-based podcast, so we always going to keep you updated on Detroit sports, particularly football and basketball, not so much hockey and baseball, but maybe the Tigers will give us something to talk about. They look like they want to come back to life now. We kind of
have a pulse.
Yeah, we kind of ignore them when they go 6-22 in the month of May, but that's another conversation for another day. Thank y'all so much for joining us again, man. Meet us back here again next Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. or as close as we can get it. It's the Everybody Has One podcast. Peace.